from the president of the DRC, particularly during his campaign, where he even indicated that he's willing to fight Rwanda. You are being accused of supporting the M23 rebels. Mm-hmm. And this has led to people saying this is causing instability in another country. What is your reaction to the critics who are saying you are behind M23 rebels?
Yeah, I can also contextualize that for you and tell you what the problem is. Well, in fact, the president of DRC did not just say he's willing to fight Rwanda. No, he actually said he's going to fight Rwanda, and his aim is even to bring regime change. And by the way, started inviting these critics we talked about earlier, whichever way. Even they went to Kinshasa, they have met, the whole thing was for him, he's trying to organize them, fund them, and support them to remove the government of Rwanda. That's one. So it is, and it is him, sir, he himself is out in the open saying it, even on camera. It's not a rumor, it's not anything. He has said it repeatedly and to everybody, for everybody to hear. Well, you don't want to dismiss anything, but on one hand, we want to not take it seriously. He must be having issues that make him do or say that. But that's not a compliment. There are serious issues, maybe. But on the other hand, we don't want to take anything. Maybe he actually, and especially when we started seeing that he was organizing people and bringing them to Kinshasa, and that he has armed the FDLR. You know the FDLR? These are...
I know the FDLR.
The people, yes. He has armed them, given them everything they wanted. So he's using them to fight his wars against M23, against any other person he wishes to fight. So that starts becoming serious. We have had that serious problem of FDLR living in the DRC even before he became president. That's a different issue, but when he became the president, now he has openly and officially been associated with them and supporting them, and the aim is to cause problems here in Rwanda and along the lines FDLR is. And in fact...
Hi there. You've probably watched this video before, the one I just showed you. I just showed you a snippet of the video. And from the video itself, Paul Kagame is not even answering any question. To start off, he says, this is where the real problem is. And we were hoping that he's going to tell us why he's supporting the M23 and where the real problem is. But he goes on to keep talking about FDLR, FDLR, FDLR. And for all of you, I keep telling you, why does Paul Kagame always keep diverting attention of other people, the whole international community, telling us about FDLR? And this is a question that a lot of people do from Rwanda, and these idiots from Rwanda, the ones in Kagame regime, these Tutsi guys in his government, do not want to answer. Because if FDLR, and I've said this before, is composed of soldiers who participated in what they say the Tutsi genocide, which we know was a Rwandan civil war. If it is composed by those people, and we assume they were in their 20s and in their 30s and early 40s, as it is common with most militaries, those men are now 55, they are 60, they are 65. They are the same age as Paul Kagame, because when he was fighting these men. He was also a soldier. So they were his age mates. He's currently at his 65, so definitely most of those FDLR he's talking about are the same age as Paul Kagame. They are old, they are grandparents, they are grandfathers. So how much threat do they really pose to Rwanda? How can an army of grandfathers pose any threat to Rwanda? Is Kagame not manipulating us here? Of course he is. Now, if this FDLR he keeps talking about is now composed of men in their 20s today and 30s, remember the genocide was commemorated just the other day on Sunday as having taken place 30 years ago. So if they're in their 30s, these are men and women who were born after the genocide. So if this FDLR is made up of those men, then those are not men who have ever been to Rwanda, and there's no way they have ever caused any crimes or committed crimes in Rwanda before they were born, right? Then how comes Paul Kagame wants to tell the whole world that these are the same force that committed genocide in 1994, saying that Felix Tshisekedi is associating himself with FDLR, who are members of the army that committed crimes in Rwanda in 1994, when we know these young men? I've seen videos of the people he keeps calling FDLR. They are 17, 18, 20. These are men, and mostly young men who were born in the early 2000s. They are 18 years and 20, thereabout. People who were born in 1999 to 2000. And he's telling us these men who were born 6-7 years after the genocide, he's telling us that they are the ones who committed. How can you commit a crime before you were born? So he's manipulating everyone. He keeps manipulating the world with his lies, as I keep saying, right? Now, the last question you need to ask yourself, and this is very serious, you need to listen. If, and that's what I wanted him to say, because he says he is the real problem, but he went on and he never even addressed the problem he was talking about. But I'm saying, why does Paul Kagame believe that Felix Tshisekedi from Congo must address the M23 problem, since he says they are Congolese, but Paul Kagame doesn't want to resolve and address the FDLR problem, because these FDLR fighters are Rwandese? On one hand, Paul Kagame wants Felix Tshisekedi to meet this group called M23, a group that killed people in Congo. They killed 300 people in, you remember last year, they went to this village in Kishishe and massacred 326 people, killed them. So these M23 have committed crimes in Congo. They kill Congolese people. That's why they have guns. They've killed so many Congolese people. More than 7 million people have been killed. Because look, a lot of you think M23 started last year. It has been there. Back in 1999, M23 was there as it had different names. Then in 2003, it rebranded. In 2006, it came back and rebranded again. So it's the same group. And over those years, they've killed so many Congolese people. So now, Paul Kagame wants Felix Tshisekedi to negotiate with a group he calls Congolese called M23. But the same Paul Kagame doesn't want to sit down and negotiate and resolve the problems caused by a group called FDLR, who he also accuses, he also agrees that are Rwandans, or they are Rwandese. He agrees FDLR are Rwandese, and they are armed groups, but he doesn't want to sit down and talk with them. But he wants the president of neighboring Congo to sit down and talk to an armed group called M23, because they are Congolese, but he doesn't want to talk to FDLR. So what is happening here? Why should FDLR become a Congolese problem, but M23 must not and should not become a Rwandese problem? Going by his cunning and deceptive logic. You can even hear his voice. It is vibrating as if he wants to explode, as if he wants to insult people. He's a very stupid man, by the way. Stupid old man who knows how to lie, who knows how to deceive. And when he's faced with the facts, he tries to divert from the real facts. What happened in 1994 was triggered by the downing of a presidential plane carrying the president of Rwanda together with the president of the neighboring Burundi. That is what triggered what happened in 1994. But Paul Kagame will tell you now that, no, what happened in 1994 started in 1959. No. Paul Kagame, just shut up. Just shut up. Do you think the United States would have gone to Afghanistan and Iraq if September 11 didn't happen? If the Twin Towers were not attacked, there's no way the US would have mobilized their soldiers to go there. There's usually a major event that triggers the chain of reaction of other events. 1994 was a huge event when the plane carrying the President of Rwanda was shot down by Paul Kagame and his soldiers using surface-to-air missiles that they had stolen from Uganda. And when they shot it down, this triggered what happened in 1994.